Don't Vote Labour Again, Episode 50, The Grooming Gangs, A Deep Dive, Part 10. So what did Musk say exactly? Jess Phillips, January the 1st. Shameful conduct by Jess Phillips. Throw her out. After Phillips opposed a national inquiry. January the 2nd. Who is the boss of Jess Phillips right now? Keir Starmer. The real reason she's refusing to investigate the rape gangs is that it would obviously lead to the blaming of Keir Starmer, head of the CPS at the time. January the 3rd. Jess Phillips is a rape genocide apologist. Reposting Lord Talbot. January the 8th. Jess Phillips, whose job it is to protect women and girls, didn't even try to speak to a single victim. Reposting GB News, who reported Phillips had not met any rape gang survivors from Oldham. In replies, Musk also said of her, she should be in prison and what a wicked witch she is. Keir Starmer. January the 2nd. In the UK, serious crimes such as rape require the Crown Prosecution Service's approval for the police to charge suspects. Who was the head of the CPS when rape gangs were allowed to exploit young girls without facing justice? Keir Starmer, 2008 to 2013. January the 3rd. Because he is guilty of complicity. Reacting to Labour rejecting an inquiry into Starmer's role in the matter as DPP. January the 3rd. Reposted a meme of Keir Starmer which read, I facilitate child rape. January the 5th. Starmer must go. He is a national embarrassment. January the 5th. Prepare for some epic cringe. Reacting to Starmer preparing to respond to Musk's comments. January the 6th. Starmer is complicit in the crimes. January the 6th. Starmer was deeply complicit in the mass rapes in exchange for votes. That's what the inquiry would show. January the 6th. What an insane thing to say. The real reason is that it would show how Starmer repeatedly ignored the pleas of vast numbers of little girls and their parents in order to secure political support. Starmer is utterly despicable. Reacting to Starmer's comment about calls for an inquiry being a far-right bandwagon. January the 8th. Now, why would Keir Stormtrooper order his own party to block such an inquiry? Because he is hiding terrible things. That is why. January the 7th. Starmer is evil. Reposting a meme of Starmer which reads, far right, a word used for anyone who wants justice for gang-raped children. January the 8th. Unbelievable. Starmer must go. Reposting Samantha Smith. January the 8th. Posts a popular meme parodying Game of Thrones about an inquiry clearing Starmer's name. As I say, these are all interpretations. I disapprove of the way Musk phrases himself, especially the insults. If you're such a prominent voice, deeply involved, as he is now, in politics, I think you should refrain from swearing or name-calling. It should be said, Musk uses such language against anyone who disagrees with him, including those on the right who don't like American work visas. Take a big step back and fuck yourself in the face. I will go to war on this issue, the likes of which you cannot possibly comprehend. I also believe you have a responsibility not to use hyperbolic language. The worst posts are Rape Genocide Apologist about Phillips and I Facilitate Child Rape about Starmer. Even though there is a basis for saying these things, they are very incendiary words in a subject where emotions are already running high. Referring to the rapes as a rape genocide is quite strong, even if it could be argued that is what happened. Genocide usually means mass killing with the intention of wiping out a distinct group of people. In some definitions, this can involve violent acts, rape and forced impregnation, as well as killing. Musk does specify rape genocide. In other definitions, genocide can even mean destruction of a culture without using violence, such as outlawing a language or religious practice. You can argue in some sense genocide is what the perpetrators were attempting, of whites and non-Muslims, of the indigenous British. How about Phillips being an apologist for such a thing? I wouldn't say apologist as such, but you could argue not wanting to hold an inquiry is an act of covering up the crimes or downplaying them, or indeed covering up for anyone else who might be found to be implicated. Phillips herself has made tackling rape and violence against women her particular cause in politics. Quite how active she's been with regards to the specific issues of these rape gangs, I'm not sure. She has been seen, on occasion, to side with her Pakistani Muslim constituents. During the July riots, she appeared to make excuses for why lots of Muslim youths had turned out in Birmingham to cause trouble. It's very likely she would dismiss any ethnic or cultural factors in the grooming gangs case. Nevertheless, to say she is an apologist for rape is very jarring and seems unfair. The same could be said about Starmer facilitating the crimes. Blocking an inquiry could be said to be assisting the abusers and those responsible for the safeguarding failures. If he doesn't hold a full inquiry, which brings everything out into the sunlight, however embarrassing it might be for the Labour Party or the authorities in general, you could argue he is potentially allowing the same mistakes to be made again. Thus, you could say he is facilitating the behaviour, but it's quite a stretch. These are from my article series Don't Vote Labour Again, published on my Substack, link in description. I usually split each subject into smaller episodes. In the description, you will find links to the other episodes. You can also check out my playlist to find every single one. Please support me in my work by subscribing to this channel, subscribing free to my Substack, and by liking and sharing. Thank you very much, and I'll see you again soon as we plumb the depths of this dreadful government.